Nick Diaz, Robbie Lawler.
You know what though? I'm probably leaning towards Nick.
All right, guys, here with one of the most intellectual guys all in the fight game, Frank Mir. You got a Chris Curtis fighting tonight. What can you tell us about him?
Chris is also a really smart guy. That's why I actually like conversing with him, training with him. Very well-rounded fighter. Obviously, his striking is one of his strong suits, but very knowledgeable of the sport. He's almost pretty much team captain there over at Syndicate, helping with the other people, the other team guy, other fighters.
So, can you tell us the vibe? You fought on Triller, the Triller card, in comparison to like the UFC. You've been over there in different organizations. How was the vibe over there?
You know what? Because it was a different kind of production. It wasn't just a fight show. It was like it was a concert and music, entertainment with fighting. So it was a little bit crazier, a lot more segmented. There was so many different moving parts to it, and so it was interesting. But you definitely had to be somebody who was easygoing and could easily go with the flow. If you were if you were any kind of anxiety or you were OCD type syndromes, you wouldn't have survived it.
Yeah, speaking of Vitor Belfort or Oscar De La Hoya.
Oh, I think Vitor Belfort. Oscar De La Hoya, I mean, sad to say, but, he has some demons in his life, and if he doesn't clean them up, I think that his training is going to be subpar, and, he's just too small, too frail. I think, intellectually in his prime, had a great, jab and left hook, left-hand dominant with a right-handed fighting stance. I think he could have done well, but, Vitor is, a solid light heavyweight for MMA, middleweight, he has to cut too, so I mean, he's walking around 215, 220, De La Hoya, it just physically is just too many dynamics, and speed is also in Vitor's favor. He's much faster, and so I just can't see De La Hoya being able to outbox him for 4 to 6 rounds and stay away from him so he doesn't get knocked out. Eventually Vitor is going to catch him, and it's going to hurt him.
Nick Diaz, Robbie Lawler.
You know what though? I'm probably leaning towards Nick. Nick's real active. His jiu-jitsu. Robbie's a really tough guy and a phenomenal warrior, but he has a pretty much an established game plan. The Diaz brothers. They find ways to win. They actually are really good athletes, well conditioned, in shape, and have a pretty complete game. Really good hands. Able to keep you busy and really work you and make you have to fight for things. Super hard to finish and knock out, and then when they hit the ground, straight legitimate killers in jiu-jitsu.
Last question, I'll let you go. Covington or Usman?
You know what? That's a hard fight, though. I got to say that I'm still kind of 50-50 on it. If I think it would have went to decision, if I remember correctly, I think I had actually Covington winning the first fight. Obviously, he got dropped with the broken jaw, but his overall, man, that's just a tough one, man. Both those guys are really equally matched up as far as good hands, high, pretty much a mirror image of each other.
All right, guys. Got the whole breakdown with the intellectual guy, Frank Mir. Thank you, Brady.
Thanks, man.